all I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just get buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well I just wanna be happy, how to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact. Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hello and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and I feel like shit. Welcome to the show. I feel like shit today. Like, it's been a horrible day for me as far as like my neck is concerned. It's just not a good day. Energy's way high. I just feel so crappy. Um, I don't even know what the hell's going on. I know something going on with my neck. I know my C7 is acting up really bad. Keep getting a lot of pain in my forearm and my wrist area. All this area hurts like hell. It feels like I fell on it and I broke it. That's how it feels. But I didn't do nothing to this arm or hurt this arm in any ways. It just hurts like hell, and that's coming from the nerve on my C7. So I'm just here just to put a daily log and to smoke a joint, maybe watch some news, maybe check out the tropics and call it a night, because I feel really shitty, and it may cause me to take some time off of YouTube. I'm just letting you guys know right now. This is the type of pain that I was dealing with when I took a year off of YouTube. So there's a possibility I might go bye-bye for a while, just because I can be here and sit on here and try to produce a show. Most likely, if I do continue doing the show, I might have to do it from my bed and relax my neck, because to stand here, like to sit here and hold this head up like this, takes a lot of muscles and a lot of strain in my neck, and it hurts like hell, and I'm just straight up smoking tonight. Fuck that. And the fact that medication, I put a patch on today, so I'm hoping that tonight while I sleep it'll help numb majority of this pain. I took my pill for my pain. I hope it helps with that, but it's not looking good. I think Monday, actually, fuck Monday, tomorrow, I'm gonna go and request an appointment to see my primary as soon as possible, like urgent, because I need to see a neck surgeon. This pain is not good. It's causing me to lose feelings on my arms, my shoulders. Not feeling good. I feel very nauseous, irritated, extremely irritated, very easily irritated. That's when you know, those are the signs that you know that something's not right and something's up. And it fucking sucks, man. It sucks. I don't wish it on my worst enemy, but if my enemy was a fucking asshole, I will wish this upon them. Um, because it's just the worst pain you could possibly have. And I think if you're an asshole, you deserve all the pain. But we're gonna go ahead and go straight to, let's check out the tropics. Let me set it up. Okay, let's check out the tropics. See what's going on in the world. Okay, what calls my attention right off the bat, this little system right here. It looks like it's trying to form into something. It's just an area of storms that is consolidated together, and it's holding up. It's holding together. So there's a lot of dry air out here, but this system, it seems like it's going to develop, and it might be the next name storm. I think it's Aaron, if I'm not mistaken. It's the next name. Um, this coming off of Africa is pretty big. That's a pretty big rain band right here. There's a lot of storms in Africa. Like, they're in their monsoon season, so you're gonna get a lot of these storms rolling off of Africa and into the tropics, into the main convergent area here. And they're gonna just come across, and some are gonna steer to the north, some might come right through the islands or right through Puerto Rico and into Florida, and who knows, right? This year is just, it's a weird one, but they're anticipating like a blow up of activity. And I'm looking at this system here too, because there's energy right here in Florida. As you can see, all this rain is tropical rain. And will something develop in the Gulf and go somewhere around maybe Texas or Louisiana? That would suck. That would suck if it did. I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt from any storms and so forth. But they were looking at this area here for a moment in time to see if something was to develop. But I don't think anything's going to develop right away. Just got to be careful because these storms don't take long to develop. But like I said, this one right here, it looks like it's going to be a fish storm. I think it's going to be pulled up and it's going to be taken over to probably Europe. And this one back here looks more ominous. And let me see something with Africa. Let's see what Africa. We gotta go down Eastern Atlantic. See what's going on with Africa. I hate when it takes this much like uploading. Okay, it's a pretty big system coming off. Definitely has a shield. It looks like a shield, and it's really starting to protect itself. So it's a very big system right here. Let's see what happens if it gets into the dry air and see how it reacts to the dry air. This is a telltale sign right here, how this system has just continued to hold itself together. It's very little, but it could be little and powerful. So they might end up naming this system maybe in a few days if it keeps up holding this thunderstorms like this together and it's wrapping up. They might turn into something. It's very little, but it'll be something. And that's your tropics. it's it's interesting. I tell you that for sure. Let's go ahead and check the northwest Atlantic. Okay, give it a second while it uploads. I mean, the weather doesn't look so bad from where I'm at, my neck of the woods. It looks really clear tonight. Got a little system. Looks like something's trying to do something here, but it's going to be racing off, so it's no worries. Florida is getting a lot of rain. A lot of rain. Remember they were talking they were in a drought. Oh, they need rain because they're in a drought and this and that. Florida always gets rain. That's one thing. Yeah, you'll be in a little drought for a while, but when it rains, it pours, and when it pours very heavily, like super heavy rain. So, like, I feel like this is all like tropical right here. This is like a tropical rains coming down in Florida. But yeah, that's your tropics. That's your tropics for now. And this is going to be one of my shortest shows. I'm not even going to go into the news. I'm just going to show possibly Tyson De La Cruz because he did come out with a upload. I believe it was last night, so we'll take a look at that now. and then I'm wrapping it up because I don't want to sit here. I'd rather be in bed resting this neck because I believe this is what I believe. I'm very sensitive to energy, very, very sensitive energy. And the energy is super, super high right now. Like, you have no idea. You guys are too busy to even know what's happening with the energy. And the fact that, this happens and it happens to me sucks, and I feel like the energy amplifies me more because remember, I have metal inside of me. As you saw in my thumbnail, that is a picture of my neck, and you can see the metal that's in my neck, and that metal is driving me fucking crazy. Okay, it's like an antenna inside of me, and it's just very, very painful. It doesn't matter how much medicine that I take. I could double up my medicine and I'm still gonna feel fucking pain like no other. And it sucks. And I just feel like the energy is so hyped up, and people are acting crazy. People are shooting. Like, there was a shooting today. I think it was the CDC. I think there was a shooting there. I think there was like a whole bunch of shit that happened today, and it's just, it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming, and every day is always this like same pushing of energy is too high, and I feel it so much like in my neck. Oh my god. Oh, it feels so weird and so hyped. Like, I'm definitely gonna get back into my psychic stuff because I'm just, I think I'm ready for it, but I'm gonna have to do it probably from my fucking bed. I'm gonna have to do it from my bed, and I'm gonna have to like figure something out. Most likely, I'm gonna go see if I can get a appointment to see my primary this week as soon as possible. Um, and then I'm gonna see if I can get an appointment with a surgeon um, this week, like as soon as possible. Actually, as soon as I'm gonna relay the message to my providers and to send over the message to the doctor. And I'm not even gonna wait for that fucking appointment because sometimes she doesn't have like available like that. I'm just gonna tell her straight up. Here's the doctor's name. Here's the phone number. Send the referral there. I need to see him as soon as possible, and that's it. And she'll get it done. Um, Probably she'll get it done tomorrow, and that way they'll call me on Monday and get me into the office as soon as possible because there's something going on in my neck. I don't understand what's happening in there. I'm in a lot of pain and discomfort, and it's just something that I'm very familiar with this pain. I broke my neck like in 2011. We're right now in 2025. That's good 14. It's going to be a good, 15 years soon. Um, yeah, it's going to be 14 actually, because I broke it in October 31st of 2011. So, I'm reaching a mark, 14 years with all this metal inside my neck, and my neck's not feeling, after all the surgeries, I'm still not feeling good. um I feel like this is like a Hulk Hogan moment, right? Maybe Hulk Hogan's calling for me. Maybe he's like, yo, we need you out here, Rick. We need you to watch us wrestle. I'm like, well, I'll be there soon. I'll be there soon. I'll get to see my favorite wrestlers again. But this pain sucks. And if you don't know pain, you're lucky. But if you're fucked like I am, it sucks. No amount of medicine that I could smoke, no amount of medicine that I could take. can make me feel better at the moment. It's a pulsing energy that's coming from, I feel it from underneath. And I feel the energy from underneath. And I tell you, I'm a fucking antenna. When I tell you I have metal in my neck, you could go look at the thumbnail and you can see, holy shit, you know? Count the levels, count the screws that I have in my neck. It's not easy holding this head up. It's not easy holding my head up. And I'm having a hard time, big time. So, like I said, this was the type of energy and pain that I was feeling that kept me off of YouTube for a year. So I don't want to do that again. I'm hitting a good streak. I'm gaining subscribers. Thank you to the 6 that subscribed, because I gained 6 more subscribers. So I'm around the 470 mark, I believe, and we're gonna try to reach it to 500 and try to gain bit by bit, little by little. We'll creep up to 500, and then we'll try to make a run. Actually, I'm at 472. I gained another 2, so that means I gained 8 subscribers. So from the last time I checked, so thank you very much to those who subscribe. You guys mean a lot. I'm sorry to be here and be a party pooper, but when you don't feel good, and it's good to document it, because others gets to watch and understand the pain that I'm in, and understand by visual. Look at the thumbnail, look at like how the neck is looking. It's really bad. It's like, it's to a point that it's just driving me fucking, it's driving me crazy. And I'm getting like agitated very very easily. I'm snapping, and I already know that that's a protecting, like I'm on protection, like protecting mode. It's like protection mode, and that's where I feel like where my neck is right now is under a protection mode. Um, yeah, I can even show you guys. Hold on, let me set it up over here. Let me go over here to. Let me take this down. Hold on, let's take this down. Let's come over here, and this is what my neck looks like. And where I'm hurting down here, down in this part here. Okay, so you can see it's a 2-level fusion. These are 2 titanium discs that are inside of me. I got 6 screws, 6 bolts. The number 6 is really relevant to me because of the 6 bolts and the 6 screws inside of me. Like, you could count. Look, even these, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then over here, there's 3 here, and there's another 3 here. So it's like 6 and 6. I got a lot of 6s in me, and it's all metal. So that's what the fuck I'm dealing with, and it's driving me fucking crazy. Hold on, let me switch this out. Gotta bring it back to the show. There you go. Bring it back to the show. But my fucking neck is killing me. So we're gonna watch Tyson De La Cruz. Hopefully I can have it set up here. Let me put it together, and then we'll talk about what we just saw with Tyson. So here we go. I hate when it goes to the fucking streamers getting on my nerves. I'm telling you right now, they're getting on my nerves.
I'm afraid it's going to keep going, and it's going to get dangerous. A lot of people are going to be in really bad shape. It's going up that continuously, and it's not stopping.
America, Baltimore just passed the largest budget deficit in the city's history, $4.6 billion. But here's the kicker. They're facing an $85 million deficit and had to raise taxes and fees on everything from ambulance rides to taxpayers just to stay afloat. But while they're squeezing every penny out of struggling residents, they're adding millions of dollars for immigrant affairs and ignoring the open-air drug markets that have turned entire neighborhoods into zombie apocalypse scenes. This is what happens when you prioritize illegal immigration over your own citizens.
The city's $85 million balancing act comes with several new fees.
Yeah, critics also say some added funding for immigrant affairs makes Baltimore the target of the federal government.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Today, we're breaking down how Baltimore's sanctuary city policies and tolerance for open drug use have created a financial disaster that's crushing working families while protecting people who shouldn't even be here. Let me break down this financial nightmare. Baltimore is facing an $85 million deficit, and instead of cutting wasteful spending, they're hitting residents with massive fee increases across the board.
Wow.
The $4.6 billion budget proposal doesn't raise property taxes, but it does raise many of the city's fines and fees, including ambulance transports, which will cost 20% more.
What?
Taxi rides, which will be taxed 50% more.
What?
And landfill tipping fees, which will double.
Think about this.
What?
Ambulance rides are going up 20%.
That's
Taxi rides
crazy.
are being taxed 50% more. And
Who's running that
fees are
budget?
doubling. These aren't luxury items we're talking about here. When you need an ambulance, you're probably having the worst day of your life. And now Baltimore is making it 20% more expensive. But here's what really
That's
pisses me off.
crazy.
While they're squeezing residents for every single penny, they're adding funding for immigration affairs. One city council member pointed out this makes Baltimore a target for
Come
federal
on, it's
enforcement.
fucking internet.
But they passed it anyway.
I think now is the
Streamer is getting on my
raise
nerves,
taxes and
too.
fees, especially on our most vulnerable populations, such as our older adults who already have come before the city council and said they're choosing between their oxygen tanks and their utility bills.
Listen to this council member. Seniors are choosing between oxygen tanks and utility bills, but Baltimore's priority is protecting illegal immigrants. This is backwards thinking that destroys American cities. Speaking of seniors getting squeezed by government systems,
Here
if you're
goes the
65 or
infomercial.
older and dealing with Medicare, you know how
I gotta jump
overwhelming it
ahead.
can be when you're
Because
already get the help that you deserve. Now back to the drug crisis Baltimore refuses to address. Now let's talk about what Baltimore refuses to address. The open air drug market that has turned entire neighborhoods into hellscapes. Just a few weeks ago, I reported on the story at Penn and North, the epicenter of the city's drug trade. 27 people overdosed in a single day. 27 people in one day.
Wow.
It was here where medics raced 27 people to the hospital in one day. All of them had overdosed on a still unconfirmed concoction of drugs.
Does this situation surprise you?
No, not at all.
Wow.
Dr. McFadden, who's been hooked on heroin for 20 years, admits he doesn't know if his next hit is going to kill him. When
It's a
asked
new
if he knows
drug
what he's
that's out
taken
there
wouldn't
now.
be deadly, he said, "I just have faith that I don't go out."
That
What?
people are
How do you
overdosing
know
on.
that what you're taking isn't going to
Yeah,
kill
I
you?
forget the name of it.
I don't. I just have faith that I don't go out.
But here's the most damning part. Community members say that the city has done absolutely nothing to help. Andrew Burrell, who works for a drug treatment facility, was asked what the city has done to improve the situation. His answer, nothing. They've done nothing.
What has the city done to improve the situation?
Nothing. They done nothing. All that they did is act like though they was bringing light to it.
We don't see the impact. We don't see no change.
The drug crisis is fueling a crime wave that's terrorizing
Man, they need to
neighborhoods
put a
across
Republican
Baltimore.
in there,
Federal
man.
Hill, residents are on edge after a recent uptick in
They need to
violent
fix the
crime,
system.
including a shooting where a
Democrats don't
39-year-old
know
woman
government,
was shot
man.
multiple times.
You
on
think they know
Charles
how to
Street.
govern?
Police say a 39-year-old woman was shot multiple times. She was taken to the hospital, and one person was also taken into custody. Some people WJZ spoke with seem to be conflicted for their love of the neighborhood and the crime that's taken
Disgusting.
over.
Listen to what residents are saying about this.
I don't feel as secure as I did at one time. Would I consider moving? It's a thought. Makes me sometimes feel like crying because it's such a good neighborhood.
These are the people who love this city and want to stay. I don't know why,
Wow.
but they're being driven out by crime and chaos. And what's Baltimore's
That's
response?
wild.
Raise their taxes and fees while spending money on illegal immigrants. The budget crisis isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a direct result of failed leadership and misplaced priorities.
Yeah, the government needs to change.
Department while adding 15
That's
new
a failed
trash
government.
crews. Think about that. Less
I don't
money
know.
for
How
fighting
come we
crime
let
and
this
more
happen?
money for picking up garbage.
The proposed budget reduces
How do we
funding
let
to the
this
police
happen?
department and adds 15 new trash crews at the Department of Public Works.
City council members are admitting they don't believe these fees increase will actually work. One councilman said this.
They always say that a lot more money is going to be raised than what actually happens. And that's my concern, is that we're going to be having the same discussion a year from now saying, okay, these fee increases didn't work. What do we do now?
So they know that these policies won't work, but they're doing them anyway. This is what happens when ideology trumps common sense.
You just gotta get rid of the illegals, man.
Sanctuary city
It's
policies
costing
are
too
directly
much.
contributing to this budget crisis.
It's costing
when you
too
refuse
much.
to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, you're essentially inviting more illegal immigrants into your city.
AG Pambani saying in part, sanctuary policies put American cities at risk by design, and the Department of Justice will continue bringing litigation against sanctuary jurisdictions and work closely with the Department of Homeland Security to eradicate these harmful policies around the country.
More illegal immigrants means more demand for city services, schools, hospitals, social services, housing assistance. But illegal immigrants don't pay the same level of taxes that legal residents do. So you get an increase in cost with a decrease in revenue. Meanwhile, the drug crisis and crime wave are driving out taxpayer residents and businesses. Federal Hill residents are now talking about moving. Businesses are closing or relocating to safer areas. The tax base is shrinking while the costs are exploding. This is the death spiral of sanctuary cities. You attract people who consume services without paying for them, while driving away people who actually fund these services. It's basic math here, but Baltimore's leadership is too conceptually blinded to see it. The fact that they're adding funding for immigrant affairs while seniors are choosing between oxygen and utility bills tells you everything you need to know about their priorities. America, Baltimore is a perfect case study of how progressive policies destroy cities. They've created a sanctuary for illegal immigrants and drug users while making life miserable for law-abiding taxpayers. The $85 million deficit isn't some mysterious economic phenomenon. It's a predictable result of prioritizing non-citizens over citizens, criminals over victims, and ideology over reality. While Baltimore residents face 20% higher ambulance fees and 50% higher taxi fees, the city is spending money to protect people who shouldn't even be here. While neighborhoods like Penn and North turn into open-air drug markets, they're cutting police funding. This is what happens when you elect leaders who care more about virtue signaling than actual governance. Baltimore could be a great American city, but instead it's becoming a cautionary tale about the consequences of progressive governance. The good news is that with Trump back in office, Baltimore sanctuary city policies are about to face some serious federal pressure. Maybe when they start losing funding, they'll finally start prioritizing their own citizens over illegal immigrants. This is what happens when you vote for politicians who care more about
we can't pamper them
than actually solving problems. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
Ice and Little Cruise. Good friend of mine, and he's right. They can save so much money if they send all these illegals. Send the illegals back. Send them back home. And you're gonna see how things will change real quick. I just think they're just an overload to the system. Who has a budget like $4.6 billion? Baltimore. That's just one city in Maryland. That's crazy. And they have zombies there. And every day it's like Thriller. It reminds me of Rochester. Same with Rochester, another fucking Democrat city that's just, you don't hear about Rochester in the news, but I'll tell you, from me as a witness, as witnessing what's going on out there, At one point, I thought it was in Boys of the Hood. I thought it was a movie, right? I thought it was Boys in the Hood. You had people gambling dice in the middle of the street, like grown ass adults, not kids. Like usually, I remember back in the days, we used to go and play in the streets and stuff, and there were a lot of kids in the street. These days, they're fucking playing dice for money. I'm like, I had to get through. So they see me come and they get the fuck out because I don't stop. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't stop in those type of neighborhoods. It's just not wise, so um they move and but you see the zombies. You see the drugs that are affecting the people of America. This is America. How America is such a drug ridden and zombie land, like in some places, like these democratic cities. It looks like you're living the real life thriller. And like Baltimore, right? The people are afraid. Like that, I felt fear from that lady. Like that lady doesn't even want to walk with her purse anymore. Pretty soon she's gonna have to just put the cash and an ID and one credit card in her pocket and put it in your front pocket and go like that. Don't carry no purse because you're a soft target. And these illegals, they're not doing nothing about these illegals. And they can't ID them because guess what? They're not in the fucking system. They're not Americans. They're not like you could like bring up like a person up on the system. They can't. The person don't have an identity in our system. So it's like they get away with it. They get away with it, and it sucks, And the problem is that it's just too many people came to like at once. You know what I mean? It's flooding, overloading the system. When you have about 30 million people illegal in our country, imagine, imagine $30 million in your pocket, right? How would you feel? You'll feel fucking excited. You feel like you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? You feel great. And then imagine then you don't have that 30 million, but you got 30 million mouths that are coming in like a locust and they eat shit and piss and shit and screw around and pass diseases. Mississippi is becoming the number one capital in the world for STDs. Mississippi. Out of all motherfucking states, right? Mississippi. A lot of the illegals went to Mississippi for the farming and for to get start a life, but like a country lifestyle out of Mississippi. But they're screwing around with the Americans, and they're getting them sick. They're hooking up, and they're getting sick. And now Mississippi has become the capital of sexual transmitted diseases. STDs. So don't go around fucking around anybody these days, okay? Because they infiltrated us. They're making us sick. This is a plague that has happened even kings and queens from the back in the times where you had your fort and you had your battles and a smart army decided to, instead of throw like boulders and rocks over like the gates, no, they got rodents that were sick and they threw them over the walls and the rodents landed inside and give them about a week or two and everybody inside had a plague and majority of all of them died from this plague. That's how countries were taken over, by plagues and diseases. They infiltrate it, they get them sick, and then people just start dying. Like the measles is back. Who the fuck? We eradicated the measles. United States didn't have the measles. We were done with it. Everything was clean. We had no measles. Even they declared it. It's eradicated. We don't have it. Now you got all these illegals that came through that border, sick as a dog. Train of truth. Train of truth is sounding. They came through our borders and they're getting our people sick. And there's a lot of people that are sick. The media is not telling you guys at all. But there's a lot of people that are really, really sick. And it's sexually transmitted. And it's spreading like wildfire. Like these people in Mississippi, their pants is on fire. It's kind of like an extreme crabs, like crabs on like fire ants type. I thank God never had like sexually transmitted disease, no STDs. I'm fucking clean as a whistle. You don't want that. You don't want like fire ants in your crotch. It's like it's a burning, it's disgusting. It's like pus coming out. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And there's a lot of sick people that came here, man. And they were just fucking whatever person. They don't care. They didn't care. They still don't care. They're still out there doing it. And there's so many people getting sick. And now they're trying to come with that invention of that mosquito from China. Chicken. Wait, I forgot the name of it. Chicken something. I thought it was a weird fucking name. But it's a mosquito that's killing people. And this is worldwide. This is not just China, but China, it seems like everything's coming from China. I think we're already in World War III. We're just fighting different types of wars at the same time. And I think we're fighting like wars of like bio warfares, which is like mosquitoes and other types of like diseases where you can sexually transmit it, or you can just have an insect come and bite you and have like, I don't know, just, are we at the end days? I mean, this happened before, right? Where people got really, really sick from like the sexual transmitted diseases and all the other like measles, and people got really sick and died off. It's funny that I have a pyramid behind me. It just reminds me of the Aztecs and how they just disappeared from the face of the earth. Makes you wonder, huh? I know what truly happened with them. Like they forced them out. Like they made them go into the sea and just keep walking, and killed all of those everybody. Like it's like a takeover to the extreme, and like it's like they're instinct. Like there's no Mayans. Like what happened to them? That makes you wonder, I guess that's where my mind takes me. It takes me to all this weirdness going on in the world. But Trump put a bounty on Maduro's head. I saw that. They raised Pat Bondi had a like a presser, and she was explaining that they raised up the bounty on Maduro's head, and they raised it up to $50 million. $50 million. Holy shit, that's some Dr. Evil shit. Hold on. That's some Dr. Evil shit. $50 million. Who's gonna cash in on that? I mean, 50 million is a lot of money, you know? But my thing is like, what militia did Maduro send through the borders that are here in the United States? That's the question we should be asking. Because there's a lot of agents that are here in the United States. A lot. I know, I feel them. And they're going to cause terror. You know? And the fact that Trump, he's going to really need to activate the army and screen everybody. They're going to have to screen everybody and go to, if they have to, go to door, go to the jobs, go to wherever they're at, and screen everybody and put them into the system. Especially, they'll know who are the illegals. They'll get them out. You know, you pop up. There's no fear, right? If you're American, you got that star on your ID, you're good. I'm good. I ain't fucking worried. it's not my worry. I'm an American. I was born in Miami. I was born in Miami, Florida. And it's just, it's gonna come down to that. They're gonna have to activate the military. They're gonna have to scan everybody. Everybody. If you give an attitude and you resist, you're going to jail. Like, we're not, like, they're not gonna play these games. Like, you know, we gotta screen everybody. You know, we gotta see what's here, who's here. Like, we gotta push the people out. We gotta push them out. The same way they came in, the same way they can run their ass back. You know? But we're courteous. We're not assholes. We send you a plane ticket, a free ticket to any country of your choice. And we'll give you $1,000 as a courtesy because we feel bad for you. But too bad you're not abusing our systems anymore. You're not taking up a lot of the EBT, the housing. Like, you got to think about all this stuff. Food. That's why food is so fucking expensive, because you got all these people on EBT cards, all these illegals on EBT cards, and getting thousands and thousands of dollars because they have like 7 kids each, and like, they're getting cash on that card. Like, who goes on vacation and gets paid for and get housing for 4 years and gets money cash every month and get food stamp every month? And everything's paid for, and you got free furniture, free clothes, free, like, everything's free. Who does that? That's disgusting. I mean, they're lucky they're going home with $1,000 and not a fucking bill of tens to hundreds of $1,000 bills each, depending on how much they took from us at the time they were here and how long they've been here. Like, we should send them with a bill. It's like, look, here's your plane ticket and this is your bill too. Make sure you pay. If not, we'll come back. If you ever come back, we get you, throw you in jail. So that way you stay in your country. You know what I mean? It gives you a reason to be fearful to come back to America for the amount of money you stole from the Americans and the benefits that a lot of these seniors worked so fucking hard to build for us, and you just come and you steal it. That's disgusting. That's despicable. Ugh. I wish I could fucking go to another. I go to the Netherlands and be like, I'm gonna stay here, motherfuckers. You gotta give me a house. You gotta give me money. You gotta give me food stamps. You gotta give me food, and you gotta let me stay here for as long as I want. That sounds stupid, right? Help me make it make sense. Help me make it make sense. I gotta keep smoking. I'll end the show when I finish smoking. I'm not doing news tonight. News they can wait for me to tomorrow or when I feel good. Right now I just feel like shit because I just came off my old patch and I put on my new patch. So there's a moment that everything's all increased as far as like the pain and like you just feel very snappy. And that's when you know you're in true pain. Like if people could feel your pain because they know how you feel. They're like, damn, he feels. You could tell he feels like shit. He's an asshole today. That's when you know when someone's really in pain. When that person that's really cool with you all the time treats you like fucking shit. It's like, yeah, because I am in pain. I'm in a lot of pain. It just sucks. But this immigration stuff needs to come to an end. We have to have a system, right? Where they're opening up what's it, the Speedway detention center that's coming up, like Speedway Alcatraz, I think they call it. That's wild. I thought alligator Alcatraz was wild, right? But now Speedway Alcatraz, and they got 1,200 beds ready. That's they're gonna clean Indiana. I mean, all these illegals are everywhere. It's an invasion. In your mind, where do you think they went? Where do you think they went? I know. They went everywhere. Everywhere. Don't get it twisted. There's some of them up in Alaska. Yep. They're up in Alaska. They're gonna have to send some agents up to Alaska too. Because they're up there. And they're all over this country. It's just it's an invasion. I remember back when I was young, we were invaded by locusts. And the locust was eating everything. And they were so big and disgusting that I didn't want to go outside because they were everywhere. I don't like these creatures. Okay, I don't like these bugs. Especially grasshoppers. Okay? No. I'm traumatized by grasshoppers. And they eat everything. And that's what I feel like the illegals are doing. They're eating more of the food. You have to produce more. And since you're producing more, you have to feed all these people every day around this country. That puts a strain on the system. That's why the trash is going crazy. They want double their money. They want double the tip money. They want 100% more because they're doing more work. Of course, you're doing more work because you have to clean up for the illegals too. Hello. Goodbye. That's crazy, man. But they got to do something about it. It's not like, listen, it's fair. It's only right. If you came in the right way, you went through the process, and you're here legally, more power to you. I love you. No matter what, you're awesome. Work hard. Support your family. Take care of yourself. It's a hard. Now you know how it is to be an American. It's not fucking easy. But all these illegals, they cannot experience that right now. They have to go back to their home. They have to come through the proper channels. We can get them back in here if they're working like in farming or in like agriculture, anything that's like construction, stuff like that. We can bring them here on work visas, but they have to deport and then apply for that to come here, not come through the border and then start working and then start building houses. A lot of these places are burning down to the ground. Like, look what happened to North Vegas, like that apartment complex that burned down. Like I showed that the other day on my show, and that was crazy. That was a crazy fire. I'm like, I would not want to live in an apartment place where if one apartment catches fire, the whole place burns up and turns into an inferno. I'm like, no, that's not good. So we got to do something about that. So it's wild times. We're living in really unprecedented times. We're making our time as I'm speaking, that's past. We live for the moment. Everything right now is the moment. Like the future is come and gone. It's that fast, right? Everything's gonna happen. Everything's happening. So it's like a play it's going on. It's a big Broadway play, and we're just the spectators, and we're watching everything as it's happening. And we're in very unique times. Very unique times. Is there like? I mean, next week is going to be really important, especially if we get the peace deal between Ukraine and Russia, while Trump, Putin, and Zelensky it's going to meet together and be together, and Trump, they come to a peace deal. That right there will win Trump the Nobel Peace Prize easily. I mean, Israel already put in the paperwork for for his efforts with Iran, and with Israel. Israel put in the paperwork for the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm sure they'll put in. The world will probably put in for Trump. If we could come to agreement with Russia, and Russia doesn't have to suffer any get sanctions, like hit with really hard tariffs, and like attacking going after India and hitting them with tariffs, and hitting them hard with the fuel and oil, because India trades a lot with Russia. So it's like it's a war behind the scenes, right? But I feel like I think it's too late, right? Yeah, this is the return of magic. My pain fucking sucks, but it makes me very psychic. So I need to take advantage of that pain and use it for good. But I see a lot of things, you know. I see, things coming our way that a lot of people are gonna be harmed. Um, I think the shooting stuff isn't gonna stop, um, because they're gonna try to make it into a debate about weapons and and who should and who shouldn't have it, and and try to go after the Second Amendment. So there, it's just a repeat of history. I just feel I really do believe history does repeat itself. They always do, and I feel like a big asteroid would come and hit the Earth and just reset everything. You know, some people will survive, you know, but it's gonna be like square one, back to the beginning. There'll be many people that'll survive, but it definitely will go back to the beginning, and that's just wild. And this Earth is so beautiful, but I don't think we deserve to be here. And I say that because I just feel like the world, I feel like the people, humanity is very greedy. I feel humanity is just very greedy and always take and never give, you know? And you can see by that one news of Tyson that I put up with the Baltimore. $4.6 billion. I can't get over that. I can't get over that amount. That's a big amount. And they're building that bridge, the one that the Ukrainian tanker ran into and destroyed the whole bridge. Did we forget about that? I think we did. And you think, damn, that's Baltimore, right? Check out all the other cities. Like, check out Rochester, New York. Let's check Pittsburgh. Let's check all around. Let's get an audit. Let's do an audit. See how's like how many illegals you have, how many druggies are on the street tweaking out, doing the thriller. Like there has to be statistics on this, and how come authorities or medical personnel ain't helping the ones tweaking out? Because I saw tweakers and they were reaching for the ground. Instead of reaching for the stars, like they used to tell you in school, reach for the stars. No, these were reaching for the ground and tweaking out, reaching for the ground. It was like I could record it next time I go to Rochester. I could record it. I know it happens. It happens every night. They always tweak. So I go with a camera and show you guys. You'd be like, oh shit. Like, yep. They're tweaking. There's a lot of tweakers. And there's everywhere. That goes all around all these democratic cities. Like Massachusetts has that problem. I'm sure some places in Maine have some kind of issue. I know heroin runs pretty deep up here in the Northeast, especially other hard drugs. and the fentanyl is here because they come through the Canadian border. They come through the Canadian border. That's why Trump is so mad with Canada, because they're not enforcing their borders, and those drugs are getting into our country. And it just sucks. That's why Trump wants to make it a 51st state, he said. Make it to a 51st state and break it off into states, not just make Canada, the whole Canada, just one state. Nah, we're gonna be like the 51st, second, third, fourth, and fifth of the United States. You know, and they'll break off into states, Canada. That'd be a great idea. You know, and we can all help each other out here in the north. You know, we're together in this, because there's gonna be a time, I'm telling you right now, things could come raining down upon us, and we're gonna need each other's back to help fight against certain things coming this way. And I am sure Canada would love to just be brotherly love with us. Instead of against the grain, be with the grain. You know, you guys could be the next 5 states. Each get a state. It'd be a good idea, man. You know, everything would be. It could be a very better thing. And then we really got to get rid of illegals, because Canada has too much illegals. Oh my God. You think United States, Canada has a lot of illegals, a lot of them. Because a lot of them didn't stay in the States. A lot of them just kept going north and went to Canada. They didn't even stay in the States. They got to the furthest north they could and crossed over. Yep. That's why when you go to Niagara Falls, you can't find any hotel rooms really, because they're taken up by the illegals. Yep. And so like over 2,000 something beds that's taken up by illegals. Like there's only certain hotels that cater to for the tourists, which all rooms should be available for the tourists, because the tourists bring you the money. The illegals ain't bringing no money. They're taking money. They're taking the money. They're not there to spend and help the economy. No, they're there to take from the economy and take everything that they can. They still there. Canada is very soft on immigration, super soft, very vanilla, very vanilla. That it's not gonna get any better. You know, they're just way too soft, and that's where our danger is too. You know, because we have a lot of enemies that are staying in Canada. A lot of them, and they're foreigners. They're foreign. A lot of agents. There's agents everywhere, man. The United States really need to step up and do some kind of census and do a full check on every citizen. Just clear them out, clear the license, like do it in person, meet and show the license and clear it out the system, so that way they know, all right, this person's clean, everything's good, you know. But they gotta find the illegals. They gotta go hunting for them and clearing them out. You know, it's better for them to self-deport. It is. It's a lot easier, man. I'm just saying, because And a lot of them are sick, man. A lot of them has like the STDs. Oof. Go look at it. Do some research. Go look into the STDs in Mississippi. Go look at like the STDs, the increase in STDs in America because of the immigrants. Go check it out. Have fun. Knock yourself out. YouTube is pretty big. They have everything you want to find. It's very educational, and it's like I can't really hate on YouTube on that because they do have a lot of that you can just go and look into and get and do your own homework. But there's a lot of fucking STDs, a lot of sick people. Oof. People are gonna just start dropping dead in a few years. Mark my words. Between now and like 2030, there's gonna be a lot of people just dropping dead. A lot of people. A lot of people with heart attacks. A lot of people with like diseases. They're just gonna just drop dead. You know, a lot of people can't handle the frequencies, so they go on a killing spree, and then they kill themselves, or they end up being caught up in the system. Or they got the best option for them is to do themselves in because that'll be cheaper for us. But if they catch them, then we gotta take care of that motherfucker until if he gets the death penalty. I just feel like laws should be laws of the land, not this state has death penalty and this one doesn't, and this one does and that one doesn't. No, I think it should be a law of the land. Like if it's a huge like case and he's found guilty and he deserves the death penalty, fucking fry him or inject his ass, kill him, and try to kill him. And a lot of people, some of those people, they'd be better just being executed instead of that injection shit. I think the injection shit is just not good, to be honest. I don't know. It's just I think the electrocution, just fry the motherfucker. Just fry him. Fry the system, overload the system, like make it to and fry him until he's gone, and that's it. And those people, I always say, look, eye for an eye. I believe, look, if you kill somebody with a knife, you should be killed with a knife. It's only fair. If you shoot someone, then they should shoot you like, I don't know, line them up, shooting squad and shoot them to death. I forgot what state does that. There's some states in the United States that still do that. They have a firing squad and they shoot you to death. The electric one, I mean, that's a special place in hell. And then the injection one, that's a really special place in hell. Oh man, the shit that they just like throw into you, and then you die with that in your system. That's like, man, to get to that point, like you have to have been that bad in life and done so bad in your life to get to that point that they do that lethal stuff, especially the lethal injection. Damn, man. That's crazy. This is just really crazy. Yeah, that's just weird times. Weird times we're living in. Expect that energy to be high because that sun is still in its cycle and it's still acting up, and we got visitors coming. I don't know. Do we have an alien spacecraft coming to visit us? 31 Alan. That was a It's a 31 Atlas. There's 31 Atlas coming gonna do it like a little slowdown and do a U-turn and come to Earth. That'll be something. How would humanity react if that was to happen? Like you have like a little spaceship like this coming towards you. Looks like Independence Day and shit. I believe you could watch it on YouTube. Independence Day. Oh, they had it. Maybe they took it out. I don't know. I have the premium. But we don't know. Maybe, and then it so happens that we have an asteroid like heading towards us, but now they're saying that it's gonna hit the moon, knowing that anything that happens to that moon affects the humanity, like people on Earth will die because of that, because of the impact, because of the vibration, the energy. The moon helps with the gravity of the Earth, and it's getting hit hard by an asteroid. I mean, yeah, they're saying 2032. It was supposed to hit this year. Something happened. I don't know what the hell happened. These people, they come up with some shit, but it's supposed to come in and hit the. I mean, it says 4%. 4% out of 100. I mean, 4 is pretty. I mean, that is a higher number, but it's not like 90%. That is like almost a for sure thing that's gonna hit. The Earth was like at 2% at one point, and who knows if we're still gonna get hit by something coming out this way, because there's a lot of objects coming this way, a lot, and there is something that's gonna come and hit us. So there's nothing we could do about that. Did the dinosaurs that they have in Jurassic Park ever cared about something that came and hit the Earth? They didn't know what the fuck was going on until the last second, and it was too late. And they all like, yeah. And it makes you wonder how the hell humanity got to this Earth. I know. The aliens, they brought us here. They brought us here. They from all different parts of the universe, all different language, all different. We have 2 ears, we have 2 eyes, we have a nose, we have 2 nostrils, you have a mouth. Look, don't look alike, but still human. Because like the Asians don't look anything like the Americans. The British has their look. Everyone has their look. Like the Europeans have, like all different countries have their own looks and different language, and it's just I feel like people just dropped off here in these areas. But that's just what I believe. But I believe I'm leaving right now because I'm tired. So thank you for watching. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for listening to me bitch out my neck. I'm ready to lay down. It just really sucks when you're in pain. It's just not fair. The energy's really high. Today's 8/8, August 8th, 8/8. The energy was just way too high for me today. That's why I was just like, let me do a short show and get through it. Once I'm done, I'm out. I'm like, peace. I'm out of here. I'm tired. But thank you for watching. Those who come back and watch and rewatch, thank you very much. And thank you for the new subscribers that subscribe to the channel. Truly appreciate it. I do a lot of psychic work, but when I don't have nobody here, I tend to go into the news and just cover the news and just feel the energy from what they report and stuff like that. But tonight I didn't do that because I didn't feel good. My energy, my neck hurts, and when you don't feel good, you just don't want to do shit. That's where I'm at. With that said, have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And I'll see what I'll do tomorrow. I'll see see how I feel, right? I just may do an early show and just do an early show and that's it. And just rest the night. Unless something important happens, then I'll break in and do a breaking news type of thing. But I need as much rest and off this chair as much as possible. I might do the show with me not here and just me just laying down in bed, and then I'll just talk through my phone and then control the show from my bed. I could do it. I'm thinking of ways, but I could do it. With that said, have a good night. Peace.